Hello, my name is Nate. I've been teaching piano and drums here at Music on the Westside for the past 3 years. I just wanted to go over a few things that I really like about working here. So, number one, you have a lot of educational freedom. You can kind of make up your own curriculums for the way you think the instrument should be learned, whatever instrument you want to learn. So, if you're a really strong musician and you write music or you improvise a lot, you can add that into the curriculum and the way you teach. Um, but just because you can make up your own curriculum doesn't mean that we don't have any other curriculums to draw from. Another great thing here is there's tons of other educational resources you can draw from. Like, for instance, on the drums, we use Monster Drum Music, which is a really good curriculum that we pulled from New Zealand, which is actually really cool. But it's really a great way to build up the students' reading and everything, like from the fundamental beats, building all the way up to really advanced things. And same thing for the piano. We use Piano Pronto and we use keynotes. And there's just really lots of great things to draw from to become a really successful music teacher here. Another aspect I really like about working at Music on the West Side is we teach all types of music. And a great thing about that is if a student comes in and they want to learn a specific song, we encourage that. Like one of my students is going to play like a Frank Ocean song. It's called Self Control. It's not really my style or anything, but the chords are actually really cool. They're playing a lot of seventh chords. And my student learned like a ton of the inversions of seventh chords, which is already kind of advanced on the piano, and it came out really well, and he's going to play it in the upcoming performance, and I think it's going to sound amazing, this acoustic type of piano version for that song. It's really cool. Or I have students come in and they want to learn for Elise. Everybody wants to learn for Elise. We can jump them right into that, even though it's grade 4 piano and I like starting them with easier stuff, but just the fact that they want to learn for Elise like pushes them further, and they can play like above their level almost, you know what I mean? So it's really cool, but not just classical music. You can teach them rock. I've taught people like Rush and Dream Theater and like all types of different stuff. Like even the Vanga Boys talking about pop, old school pop that, no, like these kids have no idea that that music even exists. And it's really cool. You can bring it in and like, this is the most common chord progression that happens. And like you can see it in the bass line of like popular songs and stuff like that, and we can just look at that and they can really build up their fundamentals learning. They're not stuck to just learning classical and romantic music, or like Beethoven and Mozart and Bach. Like, they can break free from all of that. And like music has really evolved a lot over time too. I mean, we're living in the 21st century, you know what I mean? Like music education should evolve, just like, and here you get the opportunity to teach all of that, like with rock and swing and ragtime and pop and everything that's just happening in music nowadays, all the electro music and stuff, and you know what I mean? So that's a really great thing about working here is like you kind of get this whole musical, like a musical plethora. Is that the word I'm thinking of? You know what I mean? You're not just stuck to like learning classical, like, oh, we have to learn all these scales and stuff, which they learn anyway, and how to read music and stuff. But like you can take it to rock music, and you know what I mean? And like you can use different sounds on the keyboard, which I hate how people will teach the piano and they'll only use the piano sound, and it's like nowadays they make keyboards that have like 500 sounds on them. It's like, why are we not experimenting with all these sounds, like different ways to play the piano? It's the same instrument, but it's like this whole new musical world is being opened up. And I think a lot of places don't like look at that, and it's crazy to me, I think, that they don't look at that stuff. So the students, like, you're not limited as a teacher, and the students aren't being limited on what they can learn and how you can teach and stuff. Another aspect I really like about Music on the West Side is the performance opportunities that we provide for the students. We have this big, like twice a year, we have a huge big band performance, and like we always pack the house. It's crazy. Like we did Rio Bravo Brewing, and that was for our big band performance, and then we did the Dirty Bourbon too. But like people will show up and they'll just keep showing up, and we'll run out of seats, which I think is a great thing. I mean, people might get mad and families gotta get mad about it, but I think it's amazing that there's so many people there, we run out of seats, and people are like, where am I gonna go? You know what I mean? I think that's a great thing because we're packing the house. It's awesome, and then we rock the house, so it's just great. And we have all types of different performances we do. Like, I don't know, that the Rio Bravo show was like the 70s, 80s type of theme, and then we did the Dirty Bourbon, which we did like country and southern rock, which was really cool. We did like ZZ Top and Dwight Yoakam and John Denver, and it was really sick, and it really fit the theme of the venue, which was really cool. And I don't know if you've ever been to Dirty Bourbon, but there's an open like dance floor in the middle of the place. You kind of have to see it. It's really cool because like the stage is elevated and then like deflated or whatever the word is beneath the stage in the center of the whole venue is like a dance floor, and people learned square dancing or something, and then we played Fast as You by Dwight Yoakam, and everybody square danced to it. It was really cool. It was just an awesome, opportunity. So that's the big band performances where all the students play together and sometimes the teachers help them. So it's kind of nice for teachers too. They get to go on stage and help them out too. A lot of the times the drummers need help, which is no big deal because they're just kind of nervous. It's kind of hard to keep the beat steady and stuff when you're nervous. They might rush through it or something. So as a drummer, I'll help them out on the drums sometimes. But just because we do the big band performances, there's also an acoustic performance. So we get a whole other new type of performance, which is like, solo piano. It's a more intimate, kind of like a salon from the Romantic era performance. You know what I mean? And you can do solo piano. We even have the beginner keynotes classes. They'll do something even just like really minor together and the teacher helps them. Or just anybody. So they always get an opportunity to perform and show what they like. And the performances are always great. Even the acoustic performances, we did like Flying Star off of Corrales or something. Can't remember, it was a while ago. And it was so packed. Again, like people were getting so mad because they didn't have tables and people were standing up, which I think is hilarious. But I mean, the parents might get mad, but I think it's so funny. And it was just really cool, you know what I mean? Packing the house, and then like people are playing, like Chopin, or they play Beethoven, and it's just awesome and so cool, and they can really show off what they're learning and stuff. It's a really great opportunity for them. And families can just get together, just like and get food and whatever. It's just like a nice night out. It just becomes a really nice day of music and performing, and it's really cool. So I'd really recommend, if you really to be a teacher at Music on the West Side, if you have a lot of like, if you're a creative person, you know what I mean? Like if you write your own music, or you're just like really interested in, like, you know what I mean? You see the like limitless possibilities in music, you know what I mean? Like I write a lot of music, and like I'll improvise on the piano for my students, and they're like, how are you doing that? You know what I mean? And it's maybe I'm just following something, maybe playing a scale or just playing a pattern I like even a pentatonic scale. But I mean, even just less than that, like even just four notes, like F, G, C, and D or something, and I'm playing these suspended chords in like a really cool way, and I love that sound, the way it works on the piano. And like you can write, like I could write like over and over and over, just improvise, just writing just random things, and it's really a great creative outlet. If you're a creative person, I think it's really a cool way to influence the future of music. Like the next generation of musicians. There's like no better way to do it, I think, than teaching and really sharing your passion with the students. Like it's a great outlet for that. If you're really passionate about music, like it's just so cool. I don't know, you know what I mean? And like the kids will inspire you, or you know what I mean? Maybe I feel like you get to a point where you're a really strong musician, and like it's just kind of normal for you. Like you could sit at the whatever instrument you're on, you could pick a scale, and you could just like improvise in it, and then like, oh, you maybe write something that's really cool and beautiful. And like you don't even realize like how technically advanced it is, because you just kind of naturally do it, and you've been doing it for years and years and years. But then, like, you bring a student into the picture, like a fourth grader or a fifth grader, and then you play it for them. You just like bust it out, you know what I mean? And it's no big deal. But to them, it's like their mind is being blown, and they're like, I don't know. It's a really cool feeling, and it's like, and it just shows them that, like, if you focus, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. If you're passionate about music, you can really go as far as you want. The sky is the limit when it comes to music. And I think here the sky really is the limit, like I said, because of all the other previous reasons. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a really great place to work. The atmosphere is really cool. All the teachers are really cool. You know what I mean? It's just really nice. There's a lot of freedom. It's just a really nice place to work. Um, I guess that about covers everything. Thanks for listening. This is Nate again. Yeah, take care.